alive.
Technically speaking, and I've talked about this before on previous streams, but they may have been very old. Technically speaking, my mom is British, but she had to get her citizenship because she was born outside of the country, and one of her parents, my grandfather, was not British. And her mother was not born in England as well, which complicated things. My grandmother was British naturally, mind you, but apparently, during the time when she tried to get her English citizenship, my mom, that is,
Okay.
apparently, if you are born through an English mother that is born outside of the country, and you are also born outside of the country, you do not get English citizenship easily.
Bruh.
But this does not, and genuinely, whenever people tell me Britain is sexist, I'm like, yeah, it is. Because
Oh,
look at this shit.
Oh, it's a father thing. Oh, so your
Yeah.
grandma was born in England, but
No,
but
born
her
outside of England,
but
but she
okay,
was a British citizen.
okay.
And
Was
then
she
my mom was born outside of England. Technically speaking, she should have gotten the British citizenship, but you know how it is.
yeah,
Fucking stupid.
fucking England, man.
Yeah.
So was your mom raised? Okay,
Anglos.
culturally, would she have been raised in England or Britain? Like,
She was raised in England, Italy, and Belgium.
okay, so she's okay. All right,
Yeah, she's
so you have okay. So just where were you born? Let's just simplify this.
I was born here in England, in
Okay,
London specifically.
okay. So you're
But my
but
parents were not working in England, so I could not get English citizenship very easily.
I okay.
Hang on, you
So
were born in England but didn't have English citizenship.
No, so get this, right? So if both of your parents are working and living in England when you are born, and one of your grandparents is English, if I recall correctly, you can get English citizenship.
You
But you have to
can.
be you can, but they have to be living there for a set amount of time, if I recall correctly, which is a year.
That's so fucking weird.
It's bullshit. Like, my bro was born in England, and my parents were working there at the time and living there, and he got it no fucking problem. I'm just like, he's the only one who's been able to, after 10 years of living here, just go through the process and like, yep, here's your passport.
okay, make this. I'm not following this. I'm sorry. Let's make this simpler. Where's your dad from?
He's from France and Switzerland. So, going back a bit, let me explain. My grandmother on my paternal grandmother is Swiss of origin. The only reason she became French, no one else in the family became French apart from my one of her sisters, I think.
Would you say became French? Like she emigrated, or like she was born in
No,
Switzerland?
so
I'll let you
from what
answer.
I understand, she was born during the Second World War. Um, and from what I can understand, they were kind of like on the French-Swiss border.
Oh,
So it was kind of complicated.
so,
But from what I understand, they were still kind of Swiss, but they lived in France.
so
And the problem was she wanted to continue education in France. And the problem, they didn't have the money for that because yeah, you pay for like certain high forms of higher education. And the only way to get that was through a government funds, but to get it, you had to be French, basically. So she became French to continue her education and get the government money.
Hang on,
So
but
she
was
lived
she
on-
neither French nor
No,
English?
she was Swiss.
She was
no,
Swiss. Okay,
my
yeah,
pat-
that makes
my
sense.
paternal
Oh!
grandmother is Swiss.
Okay.
so she lived on. So she grew up and lived on the Switzerland, on the Swiss French border, kind of, I'm guessing, culturally influenced by both sides.
I mean,
And
there's
then,
a whole,
like,
there's a
she
French part of Switzerland, really.
That's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's true. There's like I don't know, borders are fucking weird, and I've
I
had a
mean, no.
limited
This
worldview.
is Switzerland. Switzerland
Switzerland
specifically.
is fucked up.
Yes, there's
When you say
there's
pocket, like
there's no Swiss part of Switzerland. There's a German part of Switzerland, a French part of Switzerland, and an
French,
Italian part of
an
Switzerland.
Italian.
Okay,
And there
so-
is no Swiss part of
Very-
Switzerland.
There is also a very minor part of Romanish Switzerland, which
Romain?
is an entire not Romanian Romanish. It's entire can of fucking worms.
is that related to the Roma?
It's a Romance language, from what I understand.
Okay, so basically, like it's a borderland where like three countries meet and they all speak a form of German.
No, they
No.
do not all speak German. They all speak French, Italian, or German.
Okay, I mean
Um,
like they have their own distinct type of German. I'm sorry.
No.
but it's,
I'm serious.
French and
They
Italian are not German.
Switzerland
What? No,
Switzerland is not a bit. Okay, so let me post this map real quick.
Okay, I want no. When I say that, I know there's something called Swiss German because my
That's
stepbrother has a.
just the Swiss dialect of German.
Yeah,
But only the
that's what I meant-
people
that's
in
what-
the. Okay, this is a fucking shitty PNG. Let me.
It has the freaking clear background. Yeah.
Also, if you want to learn more about the Romance language,
Yeah, they. So
Yep.
essentially.
fucking Christ.
They speak. This is a better one. They speak. They speak like German in the majority of Switzerland, and then you have Romansh, which is just a very. It's like a complete. It's its own thing.
It's a Gallo-Romance
Then you have
language.
a region where they speak Italian, and a region where they speak French. And generally speaking, a lot of the people in the Italian and French regions don't speak any of the other languages.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're the ones in the German
It
region don't
also-
really
it-
speak French or Italian.
It
But I mean, a
also
lot
pulls
do as
over-
well. So it's like it's
also
yeah.
pulls over to their military as well. You've got French companies, German companies, Italian companies, and apparently Romance companies. But everybody disses on the Romance companies.
So at some point, I think I'm following this. At some point, so like different populations settled or had influence on specific regions, and then when the nation of Switzerland established itself, they just were in those borders, and so there are just distinct like areas where where the dominant language is French, German, Italian, and Romance.
Yes.
Am I following this correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So-
Switzerland is also it's a confederation.
Oh.
So the various different areas have a great degree of autonomy and independence.
Gotcha. Are they? Real quick.
isn't
Sorry. Go ahead.
Isn't it also the only direct democracy we have in the world?
I
I may be wrong on that.
I'm not sure about in the world, but it is extremely democratic.
Alright.
Switzerland.
They have
So
a
I know
lot of
this-
the regions have like very base democracy. There's, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still a canton of
full democracy,
Switzerland where you
that's
can
what it's
do
called.
heroin. So, but yeah,
No
there's-
question.
Yeah,
Sorry. Okay. Question. These language borders are these like the different states, or are these just like arbitrary, just like here's-
So you can see the state borders as well.
okay? I was talking about those black lines in the gold
Yeah, those
German
black lines
area.
are the state borders, and then there's additionally the
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm following it. I'm following.
It's
Oh.
it's a bizarre piece of the world, honestly.
The one thing.
Most of the
one
world
thing
is
that-
bizarre.
There's
Ain't that the fucking
there's an
truth?
even finer because they have their own sub dialects as well.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even fucking go
I
there.
am. Going
Hey, well that's a lot of the
So
I
you
don't
have
know
like
enough, but from
Apitan French
the
and
little-
Franc-Comtois French. You have
Look,
Italian
from-
with the Lombard Italian. You have a region where they speak Bavarian, even though it's not connected to Bavaria.
That's hilarious.
Look, bro, the little my brother has told me, don't,
It's
please,
it's-
for the love of
it's so
all that is
funny,
holy
dude.
and your sanity, please don't fucking go
so
there.
Fucking funny, dude.
The little amount of shit I have heard of it, I'm just like, how the fuck is Switzerland a functioning state?
There's like a whole area of Italy where they speak German too.
What? Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Südtirol.
Don't mention that to Seator.
Südtirol.
Seator has a fit every time that's mentioned.
That is very true. Yeah.
The German speaking enclave of Italy. He hates it.
It's the north of Italy. This is apparently in Südtirol, and it just looks fucking cool.
Say that again. Say that word again.
The Südtirol.
Südtirol.
This looks fucking cool. Honestly.
Südtirol.
Yes. Basically South Tyrol.
I don't know what Tyrol is. It sounds like it's
an area of Austria.
Okay.
So there's Tyrol and there's South Tyrol.
Okay. Tyrol sounds like the main character. Sounds like the sexy rival in anime.
I'd like to have a somewhat more.
Wasn't it asked again? Oh yeah, Word of Darkness question.
Yeah. See, this is the brown area. You have to imagine that the brown area here is divided into the northern part being Austrian and the southern part being Italian. But that is the Tyrol region. It's just split in two.
Tyrol. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Is Tyrol? Wait. This confuffles me. What's maps? Map. Was that these old? What am I? Sorry, you say region. I'm confused. Is this part of Italy? Is that Italy I'm looking at?
No, it's a cultural region, but it is split along the line. Like the north of that cultural region is in Austria, and the south of that cultural region is.
Oh, I got confused. Okay, so this is this is pieces of Austria and Italy merged.
Exactly. That region is split, factually speaking.
Tyrol.
Yeah.
Tyrol.
Tirol is the correct way of saying it.
Oh god, please don't.
Tyrol.
Please stop. That is painful.
There's a lot of weird shit going on in European geography.
Europe. Look, people base. God. Europe
it's a flooded town. Holy shit.
The funniest shit to me is there's a part of Argentina that speaks Welsh, and I am all for it.
That's amazing. Oh my god.
Oh no, the most incredible fun thing, we've talked about this before, Burger, is the
Basque Icelandic pigeon.
Basque Icelandic pigeon, yeah. From old whalers who came to Iceland to hunt whales.
Did you say Basque Iceland, like Basques as in the region?
Yes.
Not of Spain, but north of Spain.
It is in Spain.
A part of Spain.
I know,
there's also a part of France that is Basque country, but
I won't look at
it's far more relevant to
Spain. Yeah, there's a trade pigeon between them and the Icelandic people. There's a lot of theories that during medieval times, the Basques, because nobody knew where the Basque whaling grounds were, because they were whalers, right? And nobody knew where they would go to hunt all these whales. And there's theories that it was actually in America, and that they would just
pigeon.
Europeans didn't know about America yet at this time, except perhaps the Basque. Who knew that they were like whaling grounds over there, but they kept it secret because obviously you don't want to tell the competition about the whaling grounds.
Okay, so when you say Basque Icelandic pigeon, as in like they brought messenger pigeons over that became
pigeon
their own
pigeon, not as in the bird, but as in a pigeon language is an amalgam.
Oh, right. Oh, pigeon. Like I thought you meant like they brought a breed of messenger pigeon that was from Basque. No, as in I was confused for a second. So so when you say they didn't know about these whaling grounds in near Iceland, but Basque people found it, but the Basque found out, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Basque
they had.
whalers
I mean,
wouldn't
nobody knew where the Basques were known to be whalers, and nobody knew where they were whaling. And it was a
gotcha.
big, it was like a mystery that a lot of people would have loved
Oh,
to know because, obviously having access to whales is a big economic thing.
Especially
it
whale
was.
blubber.
And
Yeah, it was.
there's theories that it was actually in America.
Oh, oh, I get it. So this was like, oh, okay, and then like, so their interactions with Icelandic people led to a. Were there
Yeah,
are there other were there Basque settlers like in Iceland?
I do not
Iceland.
know.
I'm like, I'd imagine
No clue.
it'd have to be a pretty consistent population of people for a pidgin language to develop, and therefore I'd imagine that like there's a population, there's an
They
enclave
probably
of,
had some
of
stayovers.
yeah, yeah, I'd imagine, but like I imagine like a decent enough population, like they'd like they like intermix, and so like a distinct like mixture culture, like at the very least that language you talked about would
One
like
would assume that a few Basque people settled there, but
yeah
there's
yeah yeah I get that
individually, but
yeah
it's
I get that
they're
Yeah.
part of the population now.
I
What's
mean
this is actually much more this is actually much more the case in Ireland, where
Is it?
there's significant like northern Spanish admixture in the
that's
Irish population and has been for
I
a
can
long time.
I can see that honestly just because of like
Oh shit, Guts wins out.
the Bay of Biscay and the Celtic Sea are right next to each other.
Yes.
Fucking intro. Is it?
Penis.
No, penis.
Why are you posting maps of the accursed Helvetians?
Because it pisses you off. Also, by the way, everybody, good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Yes, it is very
Good
morning.
afternoon, good evening, and good night.
No, but
Yeah, but you had
seriously,
a world of.
why-
We were explaining
why
the
were you-
concept of Südtirol to.
Hello, I'm the dumb American. Hello, I'm what's to say?
What
Well,
the fuck? How is that related to Switzerland, though?
Well,
Because it's right next to it.
Sito.
What else did you expect?
Wasn't it fucking?
Why? What is this accursed map
Okay,
that
also,
has
but guys,
Tirol as a separate entity from
No,
Austria?
this is the map is a map of the cultural region of Tirol,
if you look down
irrespective
too,
of national borders.
if you look down, there's a chart of that chronicles Basque pagan mythology, which is pretty cool.
I have seen some of
no
these as
interest in
D&D
the
stat
Basque.
blocks. Like the Arche, I've seen that as a D&D stat block.
Oh, the cat.
Anyway, I have a meeting.
Good
Bye.
lord.
Bye, love you.
But
That he
fuck, I
really
forgot
just
to-
came in here to be mad about.
yeah,
This would be bad
I
about
told you to get fucking triggered.
zero.
What was your World of Darkness question though? You had
So
a
I've
World
talked
of
to some
Darkness
people
question.
about Changeling, and I kind of like
Yes.
it started off with me like comparing it to like the Dreaming in the Umber, like if the warp split in two, if you know anything about 40K Burger,
I do.
and then we got into like explain. You should know you should look into it. So I'll start with this. Have you seen Hunter the Parenting?
I've seen a few episodes of it. I'm not really vibing with it. I feel like it's way too reliant on like references to when it was a 40K show, and that I have not seen the 40K show, so the jokes don't really land for me. I like the concept a lot, but it's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah. But also, just want to put that out there because I don't have anyone to say this to. My theory is Big D is definitely a mummy. That's all I have to say about that. Oh, I have darkness question. So changelings. How it was explained to me is that when from by these people I was talking to, I don't know if it's a long video and like some of the sections are long. But like apparently changelings come into the world by they possess a human and they kick that person's soul out of their body. Most of the time it's a baby, but sometimes they do it to like full grown ass adults. No. Okay.
I mean it's partially true, but the baby part isn't true. So basically, there was a period of time when a lot of fairies like moved deep into the dreaming, and others didn't. They stayed here and they became changelings. And so what happens is that their soul will get continuously reincarnated.
Oh, I see.
So
So
they don't
like,
kick babies out, baby souls out.
okay,
However,
I gotcha.
now that like the dreaming has reconnected, what the Shay and some of their servants from the very deep dreaming from Arcadia have been doing is entering the world into full-grown adults and kicking out their souls.
Okay, so with changelings, then, like, do they just like when their original physical bodies get destroyed, do they just like when they reincarnate,
Yeah.
do they fuse with a human soul, or are there two souls in the same body?
No, they are the human soul.
Okay.
They are the human soul with the fairy aspect. It's their soul. Like I am pretty sure that the process of becoming fairies are immortal, except when they become changelings.
Oh, I get it.
When they become changelings, they're no longer immortal, but they reincarnate.
Okay.
Yeah,
So a different type.
there's no like dual soul. There's no two souls. There's just the soul of the changeling.
Gotcha. So they alter themselves to become like human capacity,
Yeah. They
but
become more human,
reincarnatable.
and
Okay.
thereby sort of insulating themselves from banality a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay, they like then so like okay, so becoming human. It's like trying to swim against a river versus swimming with the current to like go where you want to go.
Yeah.
They
That's
like
not a
they
terrible analogy.
they
Yeah.
they shift themselves so they don't get like super like I guess hurt or in death or like greatly altered by banality. If I'm following this correctly. What was I gonna say again? Okay. So change. Okay. So what? So what's the deal then with like the different species like bogans and redcaps? Like, are they also they're changelings as well? Basically.
Yes. Those are different types of changeling. A changeling is fundamentally a fairy that has incarnated into a human body. That's a
So
changeling.
are they made of the types of like emotions or thoughts
Yeah.
they embody, or is it
Yeah.
or do they like feed off of that?
No, I
Like,
mean they feed off of glamour, which is there's different types of glamour. They can feed off of all kinds of energies and creative inspiration. They themselves are certain like tropes. That's how like the various kiths exist. Is like creatures that were made up at some point, and that's how they
okay.
start to exist. They're memes
Oh,
essentially. Yeah.
I see it. So they are manifestations. Okay, so they're energy beings made of human. They're originally energy beings made of human thought and emotion, like warp demons. But for 40K, that's my frame of reference here. Sue me. Um, and then they did a thing where they became partially flesh and blood humans, but also with fae, also still fae and the
There's
weird magic thing they
theories
are.
that like before the modern kiths sort of started existing,
Give
there
me a
was
second to talking up.
like they sprang from the imagination of animals and perhaps even like plants. But that is
Oh, okay.
essentially that is the case. Yeah, that is how it
Okay.
works.
So the warp demon analogy kind of tracks. They're made of the energy that's generated from thoughts and emotions.
Yeah, they're
They
made of
embody those
like
traits.
imagination.
Gotcha. So are they like stuck so that like are they stuck in certain behaviors? Like is a red cap always gonna be violent, or are they just like can they shift their behavior and like
It depends where they are. It
okay.
depends where they are. So, a red cap that is incarnated as a changeling into a human body is going to be more nuanced and human. But the
Okay.
deeper that red cap goes into the dreaming, the more like flanderized it will become. Like
Those behaviors okay.
the behave like the way that they look and the classic behaviors that they engage in become strengthened as it gets deeper into the dreaming.
So if they enter the dreaming and like go to Arcadia, they'll be more violent and aggressive. And more of
Yes,
just a cut.
yes, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So you mentioned a thing in that video about like, I hope this isn't too much of a frickin' me overtaking this, but there's only two of us in this fucking
Yeah, I mean,
call.
we have to fill the time somehow.
Yeah, my question is, you mentioned a thing about how like a red cap killed his brother, and that's how vampires became a thing. And there's a thing about so that implies that Cain was a fae. Can you elaborate on that idea?
That's just what fairies say. I
Oh,
mean, they say that is what happened. They also say that werewolves used to be fae.
gotcha.
Whether or not this is
Uh,
true, like we genuinely don't know. It's just what the fae have been saying.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, I get you. All right. So, okay, it could be bullshit or it could be their own
It could be
component.
bullshit, it
Okay.
could be truth, it could be a mixture of the two in some capacity.
Uh,
Um, yeah.
so does that okay, so I was thinking this in like a dual soul analogy where like it was like a fey soul and a vampire and a human fused together. I was thinking that like basically like that like vampires like their beast is a corrupted fey aspect of their
I
soul.
mean that's a viable theory, frankly.
Uh,
That it's a viable way of seeing it.
So, but I guess, yeah. I guess my question is that like, if they're not like, how do they transform if if they're not Fey already? Like, are they
They
just like,
awaken at some point. This is an interesting case that actually speaks for a certain dual nature. Is when they get undone, they don't die. I mean, the Fey part of them dies, but the human part remains. And Selkies specifically, what they do is they have like this seal skin, and they give this seal skin to like the next their own next incarnation. Which is it for them? It works differently than for all other changelings.
when you say the fairy part dies, isn't that the part that reincarnates?
Yes, but it only reincarnates after the human part has then also died.
Okay.
Mm.
So there is okay. Oh, there is a dualist thing going on, but it's like not like two distinct entities.
It's like it's nestled within the other, and it like
Gotcha.
dies, it falls asleep. Yeah, it's a bit different with Selkies because we know that their souls are stored in their seal skin.
Okay.
Um,
I don't remember. It was a lot. I don't remember your description about Selkies, but they sound like I think I remember like seeing like they're like Thalian is Kelpies, so I'm guessing they're sea fae.
well, they're not. Yeah, they are sea fae, but they're not kelpies. Kelpies are a different kind of sea fae.
Oh, I thought that was their Thalian. They sounded like
Um,
because they sound similar.
I think I think that is the kelpie is their evil equivalent. I'm not sure if I'm remembering that correctly, but they may be. Yeah, they are definitely related.
Here's another. Okay, so all right, I think I'm all right. I need to do more changeling research. Here's another question. Oh yeah. God damn it. Oh, are there vampire werewolves where where like some fucker embraced a werewolf somehow?
Yes, these are called abominations.
Yeah. I think
Um,
Lazarus Stygia may have touched on that at some point, but I haven't really seen anything that goes in depth to them.
It's
How terrible
there
are these
isn't a
creatures?
lot of in depth on them. Actually, I believe that they are mainly created by mages and not by vampires
Oh,
embracing werewolves.
I thought like I would have figured like a Simichi or Tremere decided to like
I
fucking
mean, they might,
go, yeah,
yeah, they might
or Kane
know.
did it, or Kane did. I feel like Kane could probably take down a werewolf. Could he? He
Yes,
could.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, like Cain is essentially a god. Um,
Is he now?
yeah, he's. I mean, he is unbelievably powerful.
I found the Kane character sheet for you. It's great.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really cool. And he does have
There.
like an NPC stat block specifically.
Wait, this thing's official. This isn't just a meme.
No, this is not just a meme, as far as I'm aware. It's his real actual stat block.
Here, here it is.
You fucking lose.
Yeah,
1 point of humanity. Parents and folks
Fucking
don't
love it.
matter. That's blood pool. Not really heard at all.
He's incredibly powerful.
His name's the thing says trickster on it. It's fucking his. I love this player virus. I don't know who that Viren. Nature trickster. Motherfucker, is he
this
Loki?
might be this
Does not be a
specific
meme.
image might be a meme, but I know that he does have a stat block that basically says this.
Demeanor chronicle. You're sorry. Demeanor curmudgeon. That's fun. Yeah, curmudgeon. That says demeanor curmudgeon. That's great. Curmudgeon. Oh,
I mean,
that's
he's
funny.
basically it's the same with like if a third generation vampire essentially has the same stat block. Like the
Gotcha.
fucking antediluvians, there is all of the disciplines in V20 they go up to 10 instead of just 5. And the 10 dot ability is the same for all of them. It's just called plot device.
Lamau.
Whatever you want, that is what it is.
That's one of their abilities?
I mean,
Sorry.
yeah, they're just unspeakably powerful.
I gotcha.
You're not like
cool.
you never. The vampire is not designed for you to actually encounter an antediluvian. There is a chronicle. I think it's Beckett's Jihad Diary. There's like a pre-built chronicle where there is a chance that you will run into a second generation vampire if that is what the GM chooses to make happen.
Beckett's Jihad Diary.
Yeah, it's.
I want to see the stat block. Where is it?
I'm pretty sure. I think it's Enoch.
Enoch.
There is a scene at the end essentially where you find a coffin, and depending on how the GM wants to play it, there's several different options for what is inside the coffin.
Gotcha.
But it's I believe I believe so. I believe canonically it's that there is a vampire of the second generation in there, but that depending on the game master, that might be like they find like a dead thin blood in there of like a very very high generation that's super weak and also like dead. It could be just nothing. It could be just ashes. It could be sort of a ghost. I think a mummy. That may have been something I read on Reddit though, and like an actual. Like actually Enoch of the second generation,
Oh, shit.
and he might be unbelievably chill, or he might be just a force of nature that essentially ends the world.
So either who's the freaking antediluvian of Ravnos again?
That would be Ravana.
So either Ravana or like that really old Witcher, really old vampire from The Witcher, like one of those two, like one of those types of characters.
Well, no, Ravana is actually of a higher generation than. No, hang on. Is it Ravana or is it
I don't know. You
I
said
think
the
Ravana
freaking
is
names,
one
a
of
bunch
the names for the Ravna's Antediluvian. He has a lot of names. No, he actually would be significantly weaker, probably. That it depends. There's people who say that the generations becoming weaker is something that only started to happen after the third generation because of the curse. But this is disputed. Like basically any of the like very very deep World of Darkness lore, it's always like it could be this, could be something else as well.
No, it's just like I remember like you said he woke up from Torpor and just like almost destroyed the entire city he was in, and then every Ravnos went into like a really like intense...
it was the it was there was a war between the Quajian and the vampires in like northeastern India and like Bangladesh, that sort of area.
Gotcha. Wasn't it?
And so many young Ravnos died that it sort of awoke him.
Oh, damn.
And he woke up and he just annihilated fucking everything, and like
Nice.
three extremely old Quajian and a bunch of orbital lasers of the technocracy were required to kill him. But given that he was just like a trickster extraordinaire, being the Ravdos Antediluvian, of course, who knows if he really is dead? Let's say it's unlikely.
Yeah. Wasn't I gotcha. The reason I mentioned that is that, like you said, that like the technocracy orbital laser fired at that fucker. So
Yeah. They lasered him with concentrated sunlight.
oh damn. Goddamn. Damn. And May so that's something else. Okay. So it's powerful and you're fucked if you encounter.
Like basically that whole area got like nuked. It was a massive natural catastrophe that happened. This in the Gehenna War novels. This is something that happens like on the side while some of the characters are just in fucking what city are they?
When you say is this a module or like a novel?
No, it's a novel. It's a series of novels.
Oh yeah,
It's the clan novel, the clan novel saga. It's called. I read them a couple months ago.
Clan novels, the Clan novel saga. Found out. Are there audiobook versions of these? Do you know?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. There's some of them are really good. Some of them are absolutely terrible. I did really enjoy reading them because what they essentially do is they create this, like, they all are about the same story. They're not consecutive. But they also don't happen all at the same time. They like cover a certain period of time, and some of them start earlier, some of them go later. The events of the individual novels focus on one of the clans always, and but the characters from other clans that are like point of view characters also show up.
Gotcha. Question about Samichi. Do they all look like weird, like the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers?
Hang on, let me look up.
I'm looking at this.
No, but many choose to do this type of shit. The Tsumitsu basically get to choose how they look.
Gotcha.
Arguably the main character of that novel is Sasha Vikos.
Yeah, frame of reference. Here's what the Creeper looks like.
And Sasha Vikos looks like this.
You see the similarities with this, right?
Yes, I absolutely do. And like Sasha Vikos looks like this, basically. The Tsumitsu, there's if I recall correctly,
this thing looks so goddamn cool, but I think
that's also a valid thing that you could look like as a Tsumitsu. This is from the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines video game.
The guy
shows up.
Yeah, he's voiced by Steve Blum. Isn't that Dracula?
No, this isn't Dracula. Dracula looks actually pretty normal.
Okay. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, it's just he has such a big fucking head. God damn.
But yeah, the Tsumitsu basically get to look however they want.
Fucking the director of Jeepers Creepers played the Creeper. Okay. Fucking hell.
That's sort of their thing. They, culturally, they sort of lean into their inhumanity.
Gotcha. Okay.
Try to not be human anymore. This is something from the novel. There's like a side character. I think they're only mentioned that basically was a ghoul that talked shit to Sasha Vikos, and so Sasha Vikos fused their mouth and eyes shut, like made the skin cover them, and then embraced them into becoming a vampire. So now, whenever they rise in the evening, their mouth and eyes are covered in skin,
Oh.
and so they need to rip that open every single night.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good thing: you don't have to breathe as a vampire, so that probably helps.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but that's the sort of like the Tsumitsu are crazy. Honestly, they're fucking they
They're
are the epitome of vampiric inhumanity.
gotcha. Probably fuck a lot though, I'd imagine.
Most vampires don't really fuck. They're not interested in that sort of thing.
Uh, wasn't there a vampire like you said was like you liked because he said he fucked a lot.
Yeah, that was Trisansa. He did fuck a lot, actually. He's one of the ones that were like, yeah, actually, let's. I mean, how much vampires enjoy sex really depends on the chronicle. It was in like V20. It was like very sort of. It's a weapon to most vampires, and some that have high humanity enjoy it. It's sort of similar in Vampire 5, but like more vampires enjoy it.
It comes and goes. Them.
Yeah, it depends on who you're playing
Does
with. It's something that you need to talk about in your campaign, basically.
That was wordplay. If you didn't.
Yeah, no, I.
You got it. Yeah.
Is this the original Helldivers, Porsche?
Yep.
Okay.
And
I will say, for Helldivers 2, I've come across some opinions on the game, which I'm starting to kind of agree with more and more. The second game, it's not unfinished, but it does feel like it needs a bit more at the moment. They aren't drip feeding content into it, which I'm happy for, but there needs to be a bit more. There really does. And it is a labor of love. I do have to admit, there's a lot of things in the game that genuinely you can see, like, people have been crafting this shit. But, like, there's balancing issues. There's a few bugs here and there. Apparently now, so they fixed one of the weapons that was causing a crash. But now, you can pick up snowballs on snow planets, right?
That's
Those
amazing.
crash the game. Those can crash the game. I'm just like, oh, god damn it.
Well, I mean, you are throwing water. You are throwing water. I don't think throwing water at your computer helps. Sorry, that was really dumb.
What? Okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean that is
yeah.
it is correct though. That is
Also,
a valid thing to say.
I will say there are some things I don't like about the game, but that is purely from like a kind of like games in general kind of view. There are microtransactions. No, not microtransactions. There is currency in the game that you can pay for, but thankfully you don't really need to because you earn it pretty easily at missions. But anyways, you can still buy it with real world money, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
The anti-cheat is a kernel level anti-cheat, which I fucking despise.
What does that mean?
It means it reads and attaches itself. Sorry, Posham. And correct me if I'm wrong. It reads and basically attaches yourself and runs at like the core code, like the core
of the operating
of your
system.
operating systems, like the core. So like it runs like either I think like basically attached to like the core of Windows.
Yeah, basically.
And
most games that have that know if you're running a virtual machine. So say, for example, I was playing on Windows instead.
Yeah.
On Linux, not Windows. On Linux, and I used a virtual machine. Kernel level anti-cheats would be able to detect that and say, no, you can't play this game because we're not allowing you to play on Linux. You have to play this on Windows.
But it's running. But wait,
ridiculous.
it's running on the Windows. It's running on Windows though. Like,
no, I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking about Helldivers 2.
no,
Helldivers 2 has a kernel level anti-cheat.
Yeah, but if you're doing a virtual machine with Windows, that's still a Windows installation. Like
No,
What?
no, I'm talking about playing on Linux using a virtual machine to emulate Windows.
Is that not it running on Windows? Like it's
No.
still
No, it's using a virtual machine. It's not really the same thing,
I
if I
I've
understand.
I imagine like if you're using Windows, if you're using a virtual machine, you're running Windows as a software. I'd imagine like it's still like with. Oh wait, there's like a layer between the program and like.
Mm,
I think that's what you're saying now. Okay, okay, yeah,
yeah.
that is bullshit though.
Which, yeah, again, very shitty. The person who came up with that concept needs to be fucking shot in the head publicly. I'm not joking.
Goddamn, goddamn, bro.
No, guillotine their ass, shoot them in the head. I don't fucking care. Just
Guillotine their ass. I would want to guillotine their
guillotine
head.
them. I don't care. Genuinely, they need to be shot in the head. And anybody who does this, I despise Colonel level.
Aside from you not being able to run this on Linux, what is the problem with it?
The other problem is just so there's 4 armor sets that you now cannot get, and I don't think we're ever going to get them.
No, I
Three
mean,
of
what is
them
the
were-
problem with kernel level anti-cheat?
It's just like
It's a pain in the ass.
the invasion of. It's not the
Right,
invasion of
that's
privacy,
fair.
just the amount of shit that it can get from just being a kernel level anti-cheat.
Right.
It's a
Like
security thing.
yeah, it's so much like for security. One, those kind of anti-cheats are not very useful. They also chew on performance a lot. At least from what I've noticed on my computer, those kind of anti-cheats are not good for performance at all. They really bottleneck my computer, which
Roll
I
back.
fucking hate.
Rolling back a little bit though, what did you say about like their armor sets that aren't available anymore?
So there's free armor sets that you could get from pre-ordering, and one you could get from a Twitch drop. I don't like that fact. I hate that kind of scarcity kind of tactic.
Yeah, I
I mean,
actually
as long-
dislike that as well. Very.
I mean,
strongly.
I like drops too, but I mean, I'm fine with that too, as long as like, I mean, I'm fine with that as long as like it's available at some point afterwards, like especially pre-order ones. Twitch stuff usually has like
Yeah.
purple theming, so like if it's like Twitch themed, it'd be weird to have that afterwards. But
yeah, it's so annoying.
but for pre-order stuff, that they should really. But for pre-order
There
stuff, they should really make that available
Yeah.
afterwards.
There is
especially-
also one thing which I'm a bit iffy on. It's the deluxe edition of the game, Helldivers 2, mind you. In that, so you get an armor set you can't buy anywhere else. You have to get it through the deluxe edition. I think you can upgrade, so it's not that much of a problem. But you get an exclusive weapon. Kind of feels pay to win. You automatically unlock the Premium War Bond, which you can unlock without having to buy anything, mind you, but you do have to get the credits in mission, and it does feel a bit of a grind because it's like 1,000 credits, which you do have to do quite a few missions for.
to get to.
Bit iffy. And this one, I just realized there is. So you have kind of like a ship hub, basically, where you can kind of like upgrade everything. You can get more stratagems, that kind of shit, more weapons, unlock a bunch of stuff.
Back up. I'm sorry. How
One-
does that affect stratagems? I'm sorry.
It's not effect. Allow me to continue, please. So, right, you got the ship hub, right? And a part of the ship hub, which I did not realize, is the stratagem hero minigame, which is basically like you got a bunch of stratagems in game, you call them down using a special combination of keys. The stratagem hero is basically just a trainer for you.
It's basically DDR.
You can only get that from the deluxe edition.
Oh, I thought that was an earnable, unlockable thing. Oh,
No,
that frustrates me actually.
no, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
like that at all.
Yeah, if with like armor and shit, usually that's mostly aesthetic, and like a special weapon, I'd imagine, is also usually just aesthetic. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
The weapons aren't aesthetic. The armor isn't aesthetic. They do have stats and passives,
Okay. Damn it. All right.
and the weapons as well.
Yeah,
Again,
okay.
like I
Yeah.
understand why it happened because it's being published by Sony, and apparently I have no way of confirming this, mind you. I've only heard this from other people, but apparently Helldivers 2 has been in development for 8 years, and the first build they ever showed to Sony canned immediately. from Sony.
Bruh.
I'm just like, yeah, Sony's kind of an iffy publisher. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Is
Yeah.
are
But
there any
again, no way to confirm this. No way to
publishers
confirm
left
this.
that are not iffy at this point?
I mean, from what I understand, the guys who published Deep Rock Galactic are pretty good. Hooded Horse is showing to be a promising company, so long as the games can release. Because right now, a lot of the games under Hooded Horse are kind of like either early access or I think they only have 2 full game releases, which is sort of weird.
So
But
is this
anyways,
like a
they got
very new publisher?
a very new publisher that just not necessarily gobbled up, but they just kind of like went, "Hey, we see your game. It's amazing. How about you work for we publish it for you, you know?" And it's just like they gobble. So they have Nebulous Fleet Commander. Fucking love that game. They have Against a Storm, I think it's called. Sort of like a survival. A lot of their games are a lot of the games they publish are strategy. So just warning you, from the get-go, they've got like a bunch of RPG strategy games coming out. I think they also have Old World, I think it's called, which
What
is
are we,
a Civ clone.
what are we talking about? I'm sorry. Which developer?
Hooded Horse, which is a publisher that came by relatively recently, like 2, 3 years ago.
I
And
got
they've
you.
just been going to people and saying like, "Hey, we love your game. How about we publish it for you?" Like they've gone to like a guy who just created the Nebulous Fleet Command game.
They have a dope
Highly
logo.
recommend. But that one basically they just went to him to like the one guy who's working on it and just went like, "Hey, we can publish it for you. You know, it just be part of under our umbrella, you know?"
Got
It's
you.
it's wild, but they've got a lot of games that are coming to release, but
Huh.
aren't released yet, and it's like 3 of them apparently have had to have delays, and everybody's kind of like, you haven't had that many games yet, so it's a bit worrying, but the games that are out so far are pretty darn good.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Hmm.
Coffee Stains, that's the one.
Yeah, the
Coffee
strat.
Stains Publishing.
Yeah, the
They're the ones who do Deep Rock who published
ah,
Deep Rock Galactic and I think Satisfactory.
the stratagem hero thing. That I don't like that. That's not cool.
No,
Bruh.
no, I don't like that at all. The one thing I will say, how many hours do I have in Helldivers 2 already? Give me a second. I have 55 hours already. I am halfway through the leveling system. I'm level 26.
Cool.
There are 50 levels. I've unlocked almost all the stratagems. There's like 6 or 7 left that I need to get, but I've unlocked almost all of them. I am halfway through the standard war bond. I've barely just started the premium war bond, and there's another one which I haven't unlocked yet, but yeah, it is a bit of a grind, but it needs a bit more work before I can fully recommend it to people. If you're gonna have fun with friends and you can stay on it consistently, I would say yeah, buy it. If not, wait on it a bit.
I'm
Because
not gonna
right
play
now
a
it
game that's
needs
basically makes me have social obligations. That's
fuck
not
you.
happening.
I have played this game both with randos and friends. Friends obviously the best. Like no contest, playing with friends is
Yeah.
great. I have played with randos. So far I've had 2 kinds of experiences with randos, with the amount of randos I've played, and there is no in between. I found it's like you either have pretty good teamwork, you could kind of coordinate your chatting a bit, making jokes maybe a bit, awkwardness kind of fades away with time and leave, and it's kind of fun. And then there's just some where it's like no communication at all. You're talking to walls. Basically, they don't talk to you. They don't communicate, not even in like text chat or whatever. And everybody's doing their own thing. There's no coordination whatsoever. Super fucking frustrating.
Oof.
And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I like this game, but there needs to be a bit more, and just like, yeah, randos right now is a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
What else do we have in terms of World of Darkness questions?
Yay! Back to my thing.
No.
So, if real quick, is the werewolf video bullshit? You're doing it April 1st. You better not do a 40. Well, you do that 40K video,
Do
which
you
was funny.
seriously expect me to answer this question with any degree of truth at this point in time?
That's fair.
On a
But
public live stream? Do you really?
there's. Do you think are there any people watching
Do
this?
you really think I'm going to confirm or deny the allegations? Because I cannot.
Probably not. You're not. But to be fair, there's probably no one watching this right now.
There are apparently 2 people watching this right now.
Well, there's gonna be 3. Let me.
How bad am I doing?
assume there's a lot of I assume many people are trying to find out this information.
Yeah, and you did it on the.
I quite
Notification.
frankly, I'm really enjoying myself. I feel like the answer is absolutely obvious what it's going to be.
Oh, you featured your other channels now.
I think
Cool.
it's obvious, but there's a lot of people out there who are speculating, and that's really I'm enjoying that.
Oh, now there's 3 watching it. I'm looking at the stream right now. Who are the other people watching this right now? You fucking show yourselves.
It's Nicolas Cage and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Alright, I would have. What's my other? All right. Oscar. Oh, here's my world darkest question. Is there lycanthropy in werewolf? Like, can you be born a werewolf, or is there like a weird way you could someone will painfully American Werewolf in London stuff? That's when werewolves awaken. That's probably how it works. But are there characters who weren't werewolves before, but then get transformed into Guru? Is that a thing that happens?
I believe this depends on the edition.
Okay. That'd be fun. I feel like that'd be fun. They're all racist, so it'd be interesting to see how the vampire dynamic of having a werewolf child, would be that'd be interesting. The Getter Fenris would probably hate them. I don't know anything about the Getter Fenris other than that they're racist making werewolves. Is that about right?
This is not wrong, certainly.
All right. I saw a picture of one holding a stone, like a Mjolnir ass looking stone hammer. It looked pretty dope. Oh, there are were spiders too. What's the deal with what is the deal with the other changing breeds? And are the changing lizard and snakes are they related to dragons?
Oh, fuck it.
Well, dragons in World of Darkness, and this is more of a mage perspective on the thing. They are considered bygones. They're sort of entities that once existed but can no longer exist. Because people no longer believe in them, and they'd get yeeted by paradox. But they do exist within the Umbra, because obviously there's no problems with paradox there.
Yeah, that makes sense. But okay. But basically, I was reading some of I was reading a section of the Macaulay, and apparently it says that maybe they remember. They said they're descendants of the Lizard Kings, which I thought were dragons. Are they not dragons? Are they a separate thing? And where do the lizard people in the Hollow Earth relate to that?
I mean, there's more than one Hollow Earth in World of Darkness. There's the
are there portals to pocket dimensions and caves throughout the Earth?
Yes.
And
yes.
Gotcha. Are they part of the Umbra, or are they their own?
Yes.
Okay.
They're sort of as I understand it, they are you can imagine the Hollow Earth dimensions as a sort of many bubbles contained within the meta dimension of the Hollow Earth.
Okay.
And there's several different Hollow Earths essentially, and one of them is the lizard people one, and one of them is the Nazi one, and they're all connected to each other as well.
Yeah. He said maybe this was I I think this was. I don't know if you said that it was the Alpha Abuse World of Darkness video,
It
but
was
there
the
are
one-
Nazis
that one.
fighting. There's
Yeah.
Nazis. No, you said it. You said it. There are Nazis fight. There are Etherites fighting a Nazi sect of fighting a Nazi sect of Etherites in the Hollow Earth, and I find that amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's the classic Alpha Booster bit from their World of Darkness video, which I sometimes rewatch because it is so
Yeah.
good.
It is good. And there's also a guy, I think Tsar or something, Tsar Nikola Tesla fought a mage who was trying to take over the
No,
world
that
of
was
Zeppelins.
Michael Faraday, not Nikola Tesla. Tsar
Oh.
Vargo was the guy.
Tsar what?
Tsar Vargo. Which
Tsar
you-
Vargo.
About whom you've never heard because he was deleted from the timeline by the new world.
Well, I mean, that actually kind of makes sense with how
Yes.
mage works. Like he can be retconned with lore logic, which is funny.
You can just if you have enough dots in time, you can make it happen.
Oh my god, there's freaking dots for specific aspects of the. That's great. Holy shit.
I really,
Oh.
Mage really does. I mean, it has to essentially it developed a framework by which you really truly can do anything.
Gotcha.
In like a whatever you can come up with type way, and they
need to
had to
find-
balance that. I am impressed with the design that has gone into Mage over the years. Although I do find it a bit bloated and hard to play. It's a very impressive feat that they have done.
With
Yeah.
Go ahead. So, So with most of the World of Darkness games, I'm guessing, especially with the Werewolf and Vampire, it's a lot of their personal. It's like personal dramas, like
Yes.
horror dramas, character studies. What are Mage and Changelings vibes? Because they're less gothic aesthetically speaking. Like, is it more adventure? Is it like do people do more? People tend to be have more comedy in it. Like,
I mean,
what's-
that
what-
really depends. I think those games are also designed to be tragic, right? Because I mean, Mage is often one that really goes off the rails for obvious reasons and goes very crazy. But Mage is fundamentally about politics, right? It's about what people believe, what people are willing to believe, what people think is good for them, what is good for people, and all that, right? It's fundamentally a game about politics. It's a bit less
Alright.
focused on the smaller scale one. I'm curious to see what they do with Mage 5, quite honestly. And by curious, I mean terrified. Changeling has much more whimsical vibe, of course, but it does also have a very there's a lot of darkness in there, of course. You have
Gotcha.
specifically the nightmare changelings and all that.
Yeah.
And it's still about you constantly struggle with banality as well. You
I
don't
getcha.
just
Damn.
hang out in
Really?
the dreaming the whole time.
So it's I gotcha. Would you say so I don't know if it's maybe just because memes, but it seems like the mythology that informs the mythology that informs Mage is very much like conspiracy theory culture. Would that be correct, or am I getting it wrong?
No, that's a specific aspect of Mage. It's
Mostly with the technocracy and maybe a bit of
with the technocracy is very conspiracy theory coded, of course. That's what it's about.
and the Hollow Earth shit. That also is an aspect.
Well,
too.
I mean, the Hollow Earth is something that appears in mythology for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah, that's fair. I'm used to it. And I'm used to hearing about jokes about conspiracy theories. They're there are lizard people in the Hollow Earth.
It's conspiracy theories
reptilians.
are an interesting lens to look at it through, because they they made the basic conceit of Mage is that reality is a social construct.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I also that and it's also a form of modern modern folk tales and urban legends. So if World of Darkness is that stuff but real, it makes sense that in this game in this setting, some aspects of weird conspiracy theories would be real, like, and again, Hollow Earth and lizard people.
Well, it's the realness of it is like really dependent upon what people want to believe. I think it's a very prudent commentary on our current time. I mean, there's still Mage 20 books coming out, of course, where we have like these constructed narratives online that make us, where we choose what to believe. People put themselves into these alternative realities by voluntarily entering these sort of filter bubbles, while under the impression that they are like, I'm getting actually the news I get are objective because I'm not getting them from mainstream media, right?
I
That
get
kind
you.
of thinking. And that is one of the conflicts that especially the technocracy is faced with their whole idea of like the universally consistent consensus that is the same everywhere, because clearly this is what it produces. It's a fragmentation in and of itself.
Yeah, I gotcha. I don't know if I asked this. So, with Mage, then, like, are there certain aspects of like consensus that are like, question: are the laws of physics a real thing, or are they also influenced? Or are they also is gravity real because it's a fundamental law of the universe that God created, or is it like a thing humans believe in, therefore it's still real?
God is also there's more than one of those.
Who's the big man that made Cain a monster? Like, is he main?
God.
Is that main big boy? Is there a big head guy or no?
Well, no. Okay, so this is apocryphal. Like according to the story, it was God who did this. God exists in the higher Umbra in like many different versions of him do. The same is true about Santa Claus. Like Santa Claus is canonically true in the world of darkness.
That's awesome. As a kid, I kind of thought Jesus and Santa were on the same level.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, no,
they're
proof of
both
it.
communists.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both magical guys who apparently do tangible things that I've never seen done before that people say happened.
Yeah.
Like, and for some reason won't physically show themselves even though they're wholly omnipotent. So why? Yeah, like I'm like, hey, why does if God is real, why doesn't he just appear to me and say so? Like that's a question I asked as a kid.
I mean that the question you can ask there is like, why would he?
But he can do anything.
Yeah, well he can, but why? But does he have to?
Supposedly he has infinite power, so he can do anything.
No, I fully get that, but like, just because you have infinite power doesn't mean you have to do things. He has the power to not do things.
That is true as well. Yes. Yeah. Kid me would have.
I mean, I'm obviously, I'm like an atheist, but there's a lot of there are some like Reddit atheism arguments that just don't work.
Yeah. I'm agnostic enough to the point I don't know what caused the Big Bang. So maybe there's a guy who said emotions just kind of letting us kind of doing a hands-off approach. There is a specific philosophy of Christianity that is the idea that that God did set human life in motion, but is taking a hands-off approach and kind of like letting us figure it out ourselves. And I do not know the name of that philosophy, but that makes sense to me.
Is it the one that also has a fake god that pretends to be God, known as the demiurge?
Not Gnosticism. It is not Gnosticism. It's regular Christianity, but like he doesn't. But like believes in like there's like very. I remember reading it's like a fucking history book. There's limited input from God. I forget. There's a specific fucking philosophy that, and I forget.
I mean, I don't know what it's called either, but it's a pretty.
yeah, I forget. Yeah, it's like I don't know the name of it. There's like I remember it being named and I forget it. It was like something. It was like a freaking like talking about like Puritanism too and like that shit. I don't like freaking like subsets of Christianity of like Christianity. It was weird, but wrong back to World of Darkness. Okay, Mage is big but somehow well balanced. Oh, yeah, my actual question was so what's the deal with the Lizard Kings? Are they related to the whole Hollow Earth thing going on? And
I
those
know
lizard
the
people.
Lizard Kings are related to the Hollow Earth. That's pretty much all I know about them. I'm not an expert on the lizard people in World of Darkness.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright.
It
The Lizard
may,
King.
it's like it may well be that it's not something that a lot of lore exists on.
Okay.
There's a lot of like, oh, this is like a single sentence in one of the many mage books.
And I have the freaking wiki up, so let me just fucking if we're talking about this now, I'm just gonna let me just go to fucking find the Lizard Kings. Yeah, where are you? Okay. Well, Kole, prehistoric lizard kings, descendants of the lizard kings, also called the dragon kings and dinosaur kings. Greatest of reptiles according to Macaulay lore. Ruled over a period known as the Age of Kings when the dinosaurs walked the earth, but vanished during the Age of Sleep after the Wonder Work. And from what's described to me, the Wonder Work was the freaking like when the meteor hit the Yucatan Peninsula. Which is
Yeah.
that's a way to
That's a
describe
long
it.
time ago, actually. That's quite a distance.
That's a while. That's a good minute ago, ain't it? Lizards. Details about the Lizard Kings are sketchy. First line of the fucking history.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'd read the wiki, but I'm lazy and I like talking to people about things. So
It's
I
a lot
don't.
of the information on the wiki is not really super correct. I find the wiki pretty good to like find the actual books I need to get into to research World of Darkness and to like reference shit. It's
Yeah.
extremely good.
Yeah, I get you.
It's a great reference work. And obviously, I
here's-
mean, you don't need to playing World of Darkness games. It's not like writing a fucking history paper, right? It's okay if you don't have the actual real information because it's all bullshit anyway, and it's like even in universally bullshit.
I get you. Yeah. There's misinformation. It's like there's not clear stuff. They're fucking were crows. Holy shit. Or were ravens or is Corax? Oh, they're ravens. I'm just. So is I'm sorry. I saw the were ravens and I'm like, this is fun. It's just a bird, man. It's just a bird. Oh fuck, the Birdman's funny. Oh, Quay Jinquist.
I know
Are-
very little about Quajian.
Damn it. Okay, well I know they're like they go to hell and then they come back. That's what was explained to me. Is that like when they get embraced, doing air quotes, they fucking how's it explained is like they go to hell, like they die and then their soul goes to like a Quajian specific area of the Umbra, and like they get tortured and they get brought back as like energy vampires, basically.
Yeah.
Is that how they do that? Is it like they're like the bald guy from What We Do in the Shadows, where they absorb like energy from a person instead of like straight up blood?
I honestly don't know. I
Okay.
honestly don't know how they function. I know that they are similar to Kindred in many ways, and then dissimilar in some others. Like they have like sunlight sensitivity, for instance, but instead of burning, they age, like they rot.
That's funny. They
It's
just turn old. That's great.
well, I mean, not
Well-
old specific. They like rot. They turn
Oh!
into corpses. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Well, your next, I guess your next video after Werewolf for World of Darkness. Wei Jin, who Kindred the Beast.
I just thought because we talked about Zarvanko earlier, it would be interesting to have a mage chronicle that's just an alternate history chronicle.
Yeah, except we all have magic.
Yeah, no, I mean, the mages do. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
the partner.
some,
Yeah,
it's I don't know, like whatever alternate history event it is, and then it's like about figuring out how, like you majors in, I don't know, like the Soviet Union of the year 2024, and you
gotcha.
gotta there's like some indication that something is just wrong with the timeline. I think that would be a very interesting thing to fuck with.
Yeah, I get you. What? Who wrote the Gypsy supplement?
I don't know them personally. We can look up who wrote it.
Let's do that. You want me to do it on my end, or do you got this?
I got this.
Cool. It was a conversation to have.
Gypsy.
It was like, I'm guessing in the mid to late '90s, and they thought
It was written by. It was authored by. What the fuck? By a person called Tewin Woodruff.
like I get this misconceptions and stereotypes, but they're a real people group. How the hell do you make them a distinctly like turn them into a magical species separate from humans?
The 90s.
Like even then, goddamn.
This.
But have you read the I'm gonna say the Roma book, because I don't know if I said it once. I don't know if I'm gonna get my shit rocked for it. Do you? What exactly is in the World of Darkness Roma book? Like they make them a distinct, like separate human creature.
I haven't personally read it. But as I understand it, yes, they are not quite human. Okay, so the person who wrote it was Tewin Woodruff. The developer, whatever that means, was Andrew Greenberg. The editor was Erin Kelly, and you're hot micing again.
God damn it! Now my fault. I don't know what's happening. I do not know what's happening.
One of the most infamous and ill-advised White Wolf supplements, this book has earned a great degree of ire for reinforcing harmful stereotypes and assigning supernatural and magical qualities to a real-world minority. Thank you, background information section.
LMAO.
Where are you reading this?
On the wiki page.
I really
put that.
They removed it. It got removed from drive-through RPG.
Yeah,
God, I really want to find the PDF for this and read it.
That's probably findable, honestly. That's
It's going to take a second. World of Darkness, The Outsider Within. I gotta have to do the little World of Darkness, The Outsider Within, The Outsider Within, period, Gypsies. Are outsiders their own thing? Like, I looked up outsiders, like minus. Are outsiders their own outsiders? The trappings of both the ascension. Or what the fuck am I looking at? The outsiders are the catch-all name for various cliques of the Hollow Ones, a tradition of the Hollow Ones. Oh, it's a mage thing.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a fucking mage supplement? Bruh.
Lines blur, you know.
That's
in
fair.
World of Darkness, lines blur.
God damn. Oh god, they made them look like fucking ghouls or freaking Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Fuck me, mate. Oh, fuck.
God,
it
was the 90s.
Oh man. What sucks is the art in this looks sick. This would have been like, I'm guessing, a good this would have been a great cover for a
supplement. It would have fucking rocked.
The art on this would have been great for a fucking freaking Ravnos supplement, which I'm guessing. Yeah, and real quick, is the Ravnos? No, he's not. He's not a robot? They just kind of fuck. God damn!
I'm pretty sure he is significantly older than the Roma people.
It would be funny though if they just oh fuck me.
Pretty much all of the antediluvians are way older than the cultures they're associated with.
It would be funny though if they just had this random ass. There's I'm from a command stereotype. There's a caravan of Roma folks, and there's and they're just carrying a freaking old ass coffin, and I'm like, what's this? And I don't know. It's a tradition. It's some sort of I don't know what religion they have, but some sort of spiritual thing.
Canonically, I think true.
What that are Ravnos?
Not the Ravnos antediluvian specifically, but that is something that Ravnos do.
is that they worship, is that they
Is
travel
that they,
with.
some of them are like the mysterious elders of not like a specific caravan, but like embedded into that sort of culture. It's one of the more like fringe cultures of the world that is more in touch with the supernatural. Like
We
you
talking
know,
about
like
we talking about Roma folks or like
yes,
Ravnos here? Okay, I'm just
um,
imagining that was that just like there's just I'm just imagining the freaking like wagons from Peaky Blinders, and then
yeah.
just like some dude just like whipping his horse like come on honey keep going, and then just like you just hear something in the background, and then just like cut to the inside, a red and black arm of Claws just like punches through the lid of the coffin, and then just like he turns around. And there's just that image you had of him just staring at a dude like a newsboy cap and vest, and just like, oh, and just imagine. I was imagining him waking up, and it's just like really funny to me. It's just like he's just like traveling with like a group of people, and like these are just like I think I'm making the image clear. Just like he's just like they just have this coffin they're taking with them, and they're just like on their way, doing just like going through whatever bullshit they go through in their daily lives, and then the fucking vampire, Asian ass vampire, wakes up, and just like this demon fucker
That would
just
happen
blows off the top of a wagon
pretty much every night. Like the
every night.
vampires embed themselves in human society.
Oh no, I'm not talking about vampires. I'm talking about the antediluvian of the Ravnos.
No,
Like they're
that would
carrying.
no. I don't know if he even has a human body plan at this point. It's
Yeah, again, just imagine what I said. But it's that fucker, the Ravnos antediluvian. He's just been like for like 200 years, like this like community of Roma people who are just like who move around constantly. Like he just woke the fuck up while like in transit on a fucking wagon, and and just yeah, he just walks out, yeah, and then just like I don't know, Giuseppe starts to go into a frenzy. I don't know. I don't. That sounds terrible.
all the Ravnos went into a frenzy. That's kind of
Yeah, but like, yeah, there's one, but there's one guy. He's a nice dude. He sleeps all day, and just like, he just starts going fucking like he just starts going to a fucking frenzy or something. I think the image is clear. I don't know. Just these just. I don't know. Just the scenario of like what fucking Ravon being just like. I'm rambling so much. I'm sorry. The scenario of Ravon, this ancient demon creature, basically just being carried by just a random ass group of people, and just I don't know, just a funny image to me of just like he awoke in a gypsy caravan instead of like whether like some sort of archaeological site. I'm sorry. Do we know where is it established in lore where he awoke from torpor at?
I'm not
Like,
sure, honestly.
okay, because I want to. It's like it was in like a fucking city.
I
Good
would
lord.
expect it to be unlikely that it was specifically a Roma caravan, though you can be pretty sure that there are Roma caravans where that's like a thing.
That would be. That would be interesting. Would you say that'd be like a funny or at least somewhat interesting scenario? Like
There's a lot of, especially when you have cultures that are somewhat outside of mainstream society, especially like in World of Darkness. The premise is that they have like different beliefs about reality anyway, and so there's a lot of weird shit that happens that's just like normal and assumed.
Yeah.
There is uh also this is like from the novels where especially like the Roma would be most aware of like the existence of vampires and so often would be vampire hunters as well.
That's awesome.
But at the same time, it's not like a monoculture. You'd expect this and you'd expect that, and you'd expect the vampire hunter wants to be like, I don't like that particular family because they got that coffin that they carry around and that mysterious elder that doesn't really look all that old.
Yeah. Okay. So, rolling back a little bit, what do you know about the dragons in the Umbra and you know that there's some related to the lizard people in the Hollow Earth, but
I
you don't
don't.
know
I
exactly.
know. I never said this. I do not know how they relate to the lizard people in the Hollow Earth.
All right, I'll just look at freaking Primogen. Primogen or Lazarus, probably Lazarus Stygia probably has something on the freaking Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not again, motherfucker. Okay,
uh,
this is definitely. Oh, fuck me.
so I'm sorry, I don't know why I forgot about this. So real quick, lycanthropy is or isn't a thing? Isn't a thing in Lord of Darkness? Or that just like it depends on the freaking like the
It
game
depends
master.
on the edition. I don't believe that there is a way which you can like be bitten by a werewolf and then become a werewolf, like that sort of
Gotcha.
thing. I don't think that's true in any of the editions.
Yeah.
Or like I don't think there's a scenario that can happen at all.
It would be interesting. Probably some sort of blood magic thing. That would be interesting. Though.
I mean, obviously, ultimately, there's a fucking you can do it with like dynamic mage magic. You can use dynamic mage magic to turn a vampire into a lawn chair.
Right.
There is a spell. Literally, the spell for that is in the Mage 20th edition core rulebook.
That's amazing. Are there also like nerd rage ghosts? Like that's a thing that exists. I remember seeing like tweets from the Ogre Propenang, the crew behind 100 Parenting. They were discussing like I think the mage, like the first mage book, and like there's a thing called nerd rage in it, which is like their manifestations of like rage of mostly white male fans of media. Like that's how it was fucking described.
I
like
mean that's
their actual 4chan ghosts.
Spirits like that probably exist. Yeah.
Yeah, they said like, dude, they have 4chan ghosts, which is so funny to me. Oh fuck.
I mean, the whole internet is full of spirits and ghosts.
That's fair. Yeah, fucking. Yeah, maybe the internet. Yeah, the internet. Maybe the internet is like its own version of the dreaming.
So that's a can of worms. There is a part of the Umbra that is known as data.
Oh.
The data sphere. That may be. I mean, it's not clear how much of that it's really a distinct and different part of the Umbra, or just like a particular dimension of the Umbra that is like blown out of proportion by the people who explore it for a living, basically. But yeah, cyberspace is a distinct Umbra dimension.
So that means
it's like the dreaming in that way.
So does that mean you can go inside
Yes.
of Reddit?
Yes.
Cool.
I have not done it in one of the games. I have GM'd a game where someone did that.
Oh, cool. They went into the date. Nice.
They didn't go into Reddit specifically,
no.
but they went into a computer system.
So you said the dreaming basically contains like manifestations of every thought ever thought, basically.
Yeah.
So, God. All right. I don't know. I'm curious. How familiar are you with SCP lore? Just SCP, I guess, like one of the can.
Medium, but yes, pretty much everything that you find in SCP lore, you're also gonna find in
Like the technocracy is like the foundation, but it seems like, I mean, depending on the canon, like
SCP
way more
Foundation
dickish.
Was based like one of the primary inspirations for the SCP Foundation is the technocracy from HD.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure this is like explicitly the case.
That would make sense. Like there's like a lot of people of SCP folks. Like there's a good few. There's a Warhammer SCP where it's like a sapient miniature, like that can like affect probability and give you all good dice rolls. It's actually quite adorable. It would make sense that like the nerds who came up with the SCP Foundation are also fans of World of Darkness.
There is, and the SCP Foundation has, of course, like newer editions of Mage influenced Mage in turn.
Really? Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. Wait, which edition specifically?
The one that came out after the SCP Foundation.
Oh, what was that? Which edition?
Pretty sure it was the 20th edition. The
oh, okay. Like the yeah, that was like whatever the most whatever fucking. I need to look at the fucking page.
The big technocracy book for them came out just a couple years ago.
Okay.
I think
real quick.
2020.
So, do mages of their specific traditions believe? Are they aware that like human belief affects us, and that like because they collectively participate in this and like in like the
Yes,
traditions they do, or do they like hard believe these are like aspects of these are hard rules to like physical reality
that's
that are
one
like
of the like
immutable?
that's one of the how do I explain this? That's one of the sort of conceits. It's sort of one of the paradoxes of mage that you both have that you have to be able to exist with the cognitive dissonance of I believe that this is true and I know that this is not that I have to manifest it by believing it because it is not true because most people do not believe it.
Okay,
Um,
I mean like if you like, I mean like
that's
if you try, I mean like if belief. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Being able to square that cognitive dissonance is, I think, one of the crucial things you need to be able to do in order to awaken as a mage.
I gotcha. All right. I mean, yeah, I could see that. Like, okay, human thought collectively can alter reality. So it looks like if I honestly though, if you have like, okay, this, well, if you're aware of it, you can like have faith that like this, I can make this gun with my, I can, I with my thoughts, I can make this gun fire mayonnaise.
Yes.
And thought, like it sounds like you move from like belief in it to like
That
faith it
would
would
really that
work
would be a
because
very
you.
simple spell too. I think that's a
Yeah,
ten
yeah.
dot matter
But
spell.
but but basically the idea is that like my thoughts, my will affects this. Therefore, if I believe it can happen. Like I know it happens.
Yeah.
Like you move from like basically fate, like knowing it can change, but having faith in your own power. Am I explaining this correctly? Like you can. They're not fully like that's the mindset. I feel like like a character would be
So
in.
mages have like different levels of understanding, of course. Like, there's gonna be the ones who are like, I believe this different thing, and I found that it actually works, and I believe it very much. And then there's higher level mages that are more aware of the fundamental malleability of the universe.
Sorry, what was the first one before malleability of the universe? It was
Fundamental malleability of the universe.
what was the first one you said though?
Oh,
Like
I mean,
before.
it's just that like newer mages find that they can that something they believe works that they were told by everyone else wouldn't work does work after all.
Gotcha.
It's
So at
like
some
it's a
point you could.
being. There's not like it's not a binary state. It is a very slow and prolonged process of understanding
Gotcha.
your own tradition, your own magic, and like the spheres and the nature of reality.
I get you. So do most people like when they awaken like is it like one of the nine traditions like they're a phenomena that like that like mages activate and therefore like that's how the traditions develop? Like does someone like do they like get like do they like join like are they like when someone like if some etherite mages do they at some point realize like do they come in contact or like become aware that phlogiston is a real like physical substance that can do weird shit, or do they like awaken in some different capacity but find themselves like meeting people in that tradition and then being adopted into it and like
Both,
their
really.
philosophy evolves?
Most people who awaken as mages will have been in touch with the tradition that their belief system is most aligned with, usually. Because
Gotcha.
that's just because that's where you get a lot of like the biggest
Mm,
experts on like phlogiston and shit are gonna be those kinds of people. Like they're gonna be etherites, and if you're interested in that sort of theory, in ether theory and shit, that's the kind of people that you get. That's like it's one of those like fringe groups that you're going to be interested in, and so you're gonna be running in those circles. This isn't always the case, especially with mages that have very idiosyncratic worldviews that awaken um, on their own. Essentially, there's sometimes mages will like try to. They specifically keep an eye on certain people they think have the potential to awaken and engineer scenarios that will make them awaken. The um, virtual adepts, for instance, what they do is that they look in like hacker groups and shit like that And they will. There's this book, the Kitab al-Alakir. It's the book of numbers or some shit.
Those are the math guys you said that
The
like can
math
like
guys, yeah,
bend.
exactly.
Those are the guys that like they can like fold reality by doing
Yeah,
like
yeah,
calculations in their head, right?
yeah. They believe that
Oh
reality is a
yeah.
simulation, essentially.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I'm sorry. On that, okay. So they keep out for people who have like a weird philosophy or like interpretation of mathematics, and that can cause them to like awaken.
No, I mean, yes, and then they have these people who have these sort of alternative ideas about mathematics. They are open to that sort of thing, and then they like will just give them that book. Like they will
I got
find
you.
that book somewhere, and then maybe they read it, and like it leads to their awakening as a mage.
I get you. Speaking back to the what are the names of the math guys again?
There's the virtual adepts. They're not.
You
It's crucially they're not so. They are math guys, but the Ali Batin are more math guys. Which were the sort of the predecessors of the virtual adepts within the mystic traditions. The main conceit of the virtual adept worldview is that reality is a simulation. Mathematics
ah
is just the most common sort of vehicle by which they think the simulation is sort of operated.
okay. Is that a hard thing that they think they're in a computer simulation, or is that just like that's how they interpret shit? Like, or is
I
it like a
mean,
mixture?
yes.
Okay.
It's
So
yeah. I mean, this is the conceit is fundamentally that reality is malleable.
gotcha. It's in different ways. Sometimes it's through math, and the other times it's through a weird it's a weird juice that exists in space. I don't know much about the etherites, but their aesthetic sounds fun to me, so I need to look more into them. Yeah, I'll probably Lazar Stygia probably has a video on them. Oh, the other thing I was gonna ask. Goddamn, I also trying to thought. Fuck. Damn it, we're on the freaking virtual ad. Oh yeah, you mentioned a thing in the virtual adept section of the Mage Lore video where like all matter in reality exists within a single point, and it's just our
Yeah,
perception of distance is like interpret. I'm paraphrasing here that the interpretation of distance is just a thing of human perception. Explain to me like that like everything exists in one point. Like
this
I
is
guess
so. This
elaborate
is
on
what
that.
the virtual adepts call the correspondence point, right?
Okay.
That all of existence, and I believe also all of possibility, exists in a single point. And it's very esoteric, so I may not be like
Is it the idea that like all matter is in a singularity and like
yes,
the atom
yeah. There is a
on
singularity at the heart of the correspondence point, and the what we perceive is a projection on like a shell around the correspondence point. So the correspondence point is the a place of all potential, where all but like clearly we live in like a false reality that's like this outer shell of that correspondence point. And if you manage to move into the correspondence point, you can bend space to your will because obviously all of space is located there. It emanates as like
so
it's like a Plato's cave type situation, right? What
yeah
we
and like
perceive as being like the various like reality where space exists is that's the shadows in Plato's cave, essentially, and like
gotcha.
the
Okay.
figures are the correspondence point.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so the light we exist as in shadows of the core of reality,
Yeah,
basically.
I mean that's specifically the virtual adept view on the mystic sphere of correspondence, which
You know
is
this
the
also
mystic sphere that they are, whose the seat of which they hold within the Council of Nine Mystic Traditions.
I'll have to rewatch your video. I don't want to ask you about correspondence because that's probably going to be a minute. I don't know how much time we have left. I'll ask you one. I'll say that this reminds me a lot of Fate of the Nasu verse, like the shit in Fate Stay Night and Tsukahime. Tsukahime, by the way, is a visual novel and has a fighting game adaptation. It's about vampires where
Oh, I
like
think. Oh shit! I realize we have to end the stream. It's long
LMAO,
past
eight
stream ending
minutes
time.
passed.
wait how what time wait did you go for wait were we gone for an hour? Were you going for 1 or 2 hours?
No, an hour and a half. I usually go for an hour and a half, and
Oh, I
but
thought you went for like two. I
my
mean,
boyfriend is in the other room, so I have to.
okay. Basically,
LMAO.
the main character almost dies because of a vampire and views the heart of reality called the Kasha, and that
Yeah.
gives him the ability to see metaphysical lines that when he cuts, that like allows him to slice something on like a fundamental magical level. Like they like run through people and he uses a knife to basically cut people. That's what that correspondence thing reminded me about. It's like you look at the heart of the universe and like you get power from it. That's what that reminds me of.
All right, we gotta stop the stream.
Okay, good night, everybody. Have a good day if you're seeing this in the future.